Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's the Spiritual Enchantress here. Today I'm going to take you through a pick a card reading based off of what you need to know for this new moon cycle that starts tomorrow on Sunday. I also like to do a new moon ritual every time that it comes around, a way of helping further my manifestation. So if you're interested in that, please subscribe below if you haven't already to be updated with that content when it is released, because I'll be doing a video on it. Other than that, if this is your first ever pick a card reading, what I'd like you to do is either choose from these beautiful stones here or close your eyes and see whatever number pops up into your mind's eye, and that is the card for you. We have card number or pile number 1 with blue agate, pile number 2 with aquamarine, and pile number 3 with malachite. So once you have picked that, please look below in the description box where the timestamps are to skip to the card reading for you so you don't have to listen to anybody else's message. Awesome, let's get started. Okay, pile number 1, here's your message for what you need to know for this upcoming new moon cycle starting Sunday, July 19th. We'll start with some tarot. We have the Hermit, 2 of Swords in reversed, 8 of Swords reversed, and 9 of Swords reversed. First off, I'll say a reading that's dominated by swords often means there's a lot going on in your mind. So, and the fact that some of these are reversed and 2 of them are blindfolded, I would say there's definitely a lack of clarity in this new moon cycle coming up for you, group number 1. And of course, there's always a way to change the outcome of the future. The future is very malleable. So knowing this, there's a lot that you can do to help guide your way through this next new moon cycle. With the Hermit coming up first here, I feel like, especially accompanied with these other cards, very dominated by swords, which signified air and in intellect and the mind and how you weave things together using your intellect, is that you really need to go within this new moon cycle. Maybe you've been looking to others to tell you how to live your life, or taking to heart what other people say too much, looking to experts to tell you what you should feel or what you should think or how you should act, and not trusting your own instincts, your intuition, and that comes within. And to do that, you really need to quiet the mind and tap into mental clarity, because our intuition can only come through when we break through the path of jumble in our minds. And actually is just learning that there's over 100 billion neurons in your brain, and each one has over 100,000 finger-like projections that connect in different pathways to other neurons. When you think about that, that's, I don't even know the math. It's like infinite potential for different pathways to wire in your brain. So it's very easy for us to get caught up in the intellect and what people say and what you know, and try and put everything together. So I'd really suggest going within with this Hermit card. This could be intellectually going within, quieting the mind and meditating and taking some time alone, but it can also mean dualistically actually physically taking some time to yourself, not going out as much, not spending as much time out grinding, either, you know, partying, hanging out with people. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Like, you'll definitely know what the balance is for you. Maybe it's work. Maybe you're working 6 or 7 days a week and you're thinking so much that your mind never really gets the break that it needs to recuperate and come up with new ideas, to connect to that intuitive part of yourself and link new pathways to make those new ideas. With Two of Swords, it's usually represents like a crossroads. There's a decision to be made, but she doesn't know where to go. Like she's blindfolded, and this is in reverse. So it's like you're stuck right now. You don't know where to go. In this sense, you maybe feel overwhelmed. Like Nine of Swords, like she's up at night worrying. She doesn't know what to do. She feels trapped, and here she's bound and blindfolded, and she can't see where to go next. So I'm really feeling a strong sense of inability to connect with the intuition and really focus on what steps to make next in this next moon cycle for you. So I really feel that going within, meditating, maybe doing yoga, finding something that's very soothing to you. Maybe go get a massage, maybe take more time out of your day to have baths. And if you're like me and you try and multitask and you're trying to get your homework done and listen to a podcast when you're in the bath, or going for a walk and listening to a book on your phone, I mean, really using those opportunities where you're alone and you have time to clear your mind, to actually clear your mind instead of trying to fit as much things as you can that are productive into that time. Because when you overload your mind with information, it's so much more to comb through, and then like I said, then you really miss out on that intuitive part of you that connects with that oneness of the universe and allows you to really tap into how you're feeling and how a decision is going to affect how you feel about something, not just what that decision is going to make for you logically on a piece of paper. So let's look at some more cards here. Group number 1, Jump in reverse. Say yes to change in reverse. So, and you can kind of see, I don't know if you can see on the camera, but her little feet poking out like she just dived into the deep end of the water. And this is coming up under the Hermit, and this crossroads where she's very confused about the decision she needs to make, and it's saying jump in. And I'm going to take that as jump into yourself. And water represents emotions. There's water. She's jumping into the water, and the universe, connection to your emotions. Jump in, go deep within. Maybe try some inner child work, some shadow work. There's lots of really good content on YouTube regarding that, and also some really, really good books written by psychologists if you're a little bit worried about what someone on YouTube's telling you. But essentially, that going within and seeing how your emotions are what are they trying to tell you? They're a great indicator of something that's wrong in your life. If you feel trapped and overwhelmed and you don't know what decision to make, and your mind's at overload and you're lying awake at night unable to make a decision because you're trying to think of every possible outcome that could go wrong or right, then dive within and really see what resonates with you. What's the gut feeling you have on this? And don't rush it. Maybe do some free writing where you don't even think and you just have a pen and you just start writing what you're feeling and see what comes out for you. The Seas of Mintaka, seeing potential, bringing unconsciousness to light, more water, emotions, fluidity, going with the flow. You don't need to be so rigid and tied up in your intellect and letting your brain and the analytical part of your brain, that right-brained part of you, do all the work. Let the left brain step in a little bit. What kind of emotions are coming up for you, group number 1, during this new moon? And the new moon is a great time to reflect on what new projects you want, what new path you want to take. I always use it for manifesting what I'm working on, what my goals are, and then I use the full moon for releasing. So this is like, go within. What do you want? At this time in the world, there's a lot of opportunity for people to really excel and assess their situation. Am I happy doing what I'm doing? Is this fulfilling for me? Or am I coming home drained and upset and not feeling fulfilled. And if that's the case, what fulfills you? Only you can know that, and you really have to use your emotions as an indicator. Earth, learning how to be human in the world but not of it. Beautiful. That's really to do with grounding, and like when you live in your head, it's like you're not in your body, you're up here in this ethereal realm, and it's like you really need to ground yourself into the earth. You really need to get into your physical body, feel the feelings, look around you. What opportunities are right here? Root yourself down, and the further your roots go into the earth, the further your branches can grow up towards the sky. And that's metaphorical for life too. If you have a really strong foundation, you're really rooted in with the relationship with your husband and your kids, then you as a family will excel. Same with the job. If you have a really strong foundation in the job that you do, in the work that you do, and you're passionate about it and you have beliefs in it, and there's that rooted centeredness, you're not making up excuses of why you have to do it, it's because you want to do it, then you're gonna be able to soar way more than that person who's just doing it for money. So getting grounded, going within, a lot of inner work that you're gonna have to do during this new moon cycle, group number 1. Of course, this is optional. You don't have to take my word for it. You can let it play out and feel scattered for sure. That's really up to you. And it'll be beautiful either way, because either way, at some point, you'll end up having to reflect and look on your life, and it's really going to be up to you when you want to do that. So I took these last cards from the moon deck because new moon, I was trying to, be cute. Anyways, with the intention of advice that could be applied to help everything in the new moon cycle for you for July to August to really flow smoothly so you can come out of it. And with this kind of issue at hand being the fact that you're living a lot in your head, very rational thinking, a lot going on, a lot of analyzing, a lot of decisions to be made, that let's see what they say here. The end of a tough cycle approaches. Full moon in Capricorn. So full moons, as I said, it's about releasing that which does not serve. And it's saying the end of that cycle approaches. So the end of all of this is coming for you. So you can release that. You can release those belief systems that are making you feel trapped. You can release the job that's making you stay up at night stressed out. You can release the relationship that's making you feel torn apart and not good enough and not in your full power. You can release that, and the end is coming. That's gonna make you feel so much better and so much more clear and so much more empowered. Ooh, so maybe this does have to do with the loved one. A new romantic cycle begins. New moon in Libra. This coming up under seeing potential, bringing the unconsciousness to light. If you go within and you release those things that do not serve, you really have the potential to love yourself. And when you love yourself, you're a magnet for all things wonderful. Beautiful relationships with people, friendships, maybe a romantic relationships, but it can also be business relationships. It can be your relationship with yourself. It can be your relationship with the work that you do, the projects that you have, your relationship with your home. Maybe you'll feel like if you get rid of, do some spring cleaning in your home and get rid of a bunch of stuff that's not serving you anymore, you don't need it, it's just taking up space and creating clutter, and it's more stuff to clean. And then you just feel like, it's so freeing, everything's so clear. And that's in your home, in your body, but then in your relationships as well. So please let me know in the comments below what this new romantic cycle for you is, group number 1. And take time to breathe, disseminating moon. And like what I said, meditating, going within. Meditation is extremely linked to the breath. And if you don't like to meditate or have never done it before, there's lots of guided meditations on YouTube. There's ones you can purchase as well. And it's very linked to breathing. So even if you wanted to start off, like not everyone has time to go sit in a room for 20 minutes in silence and meditate. That's just the fact. But if you wanted to make the time, that's always preferable. But you can also just learn how to take even a minute here and there throughout your day when you feel that pressure in your chest, you're getting overwhelmed from either your kids or some project that you're working on that's just crushing you. There's so much to be considerate of, or you work public service and there's just so much going on and you're trying to keep up. Just step aside for a minute or sit there at your desk, close your eyes, and take some nice deep breaths in and out of the nose, and take releasing breaths too, where you breathe in really deep and then you sigh all out the mouth. Very, very healing. And then it really slows down your heart rate, and it affects your whole nervous system and all the reactions that are having. A lot of people that suffer from chronic stress and stuff like that, their system's on overload. Stress reactions and the chemicals that are released are the same reactions that your body has when it's fleeing from for its life. And it has a really big impact on your body and the ability to think clearly when those chemicals are being released, even if it's in slow amounts over a long period of time. So connecting with the breath and really slowing your heart rate back down and bringing yourself at ease again. And even I just learned yesterday that hugging is a big one. It releases oxytocin, which actually cancels out cortisol, which is that stress hormone that is good if you're trying to run away from a tiger, but over a long period of time, not so good. So breathe. Find somebody who cares about you, who's not going to judge you, and give them a hug. Staying COVID friendly, of course, maybe your spouse or your mom or something like that. So anyways, I hope this was helpful for you, group number one. Please let me know in the comments below. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and ring the bell notification button to be updated with new content. I do yoga videos, card readings, and spiritual videos. So if you're interested in that, please check it out. Thanks, guys. Bye. Welcome back, group number two. This is your card reading for the new moon cycle starting Sunday, July 19th. We'll start off with some tarot cards for your reading. We have the Six of Cups, the Five of Pentacles, the Four of Wands, and the King of Swords. So right off the bat, what I'm getting from this reading is that during this new moon cycle, there's some people who really need your help. And either you or somebody very close to you is gonna show up as a leader. And I'm feeling like what I'm getting from this reading is that you're that person who needs to step up as a leader for some people in your life. Maybe this is in your community. Maybe this is at your job, or maybe it's even just in your family. But there's people who aren't feeling so great. They're definitely down, and they're not seeing the light and the opportunities that are right there for them. And you have that light to share with them. With the King of Swords, it's very like the king of intellect and leadership, and he's very good at making decisions and seeing things for what they are and standing tall. And like in this card, he has butterflies around his head, and butterflies to me really signal growth and transformation. And the Four of Wands really symbolizes celebration, taking time with friends and joy and happiness. And it's like after all of that hard work and all of that stuff that you've started, you have that time to sit back and enjoy the fruits of your labors. But with the Six of Cups and Five of Pentacles, I'm really feeling like there's somebody or some group of people that you not only want to help, but have the ability to impact in a very positive way. And that's going to lead to beautiful celebrations, because when you bring the light and shine it on the people who are consumed with darkness, and I'm not saying that they're like a bad, evil person because they're consumed with darkness. There's very loving, compassionate, tender people who have had so many bad things happen to them that because they're emotional, they feel physical pain in their body from all this stuff that's happened. And it's very hard for them to see the light and see the positive aspects when you get that low into the darkness. And it's people like you, group number 2, that really step in and bring the light out in them, and they can feel loved and cherished and appreciated and worthy again. And when you start to impact people's lives like that, even just the smallest things, like giving that homeless person in front of the coffee shop a free coffee and a muffin because you know he's probably hungry and he wants to be warm. Little acts of kindness like that, or even just a nice little compliment to somebody who's having a bad day. Oh, you look really nice today. I like the way you did your hair. Could make such an impact on someone's day. It can be the difference between them going home and crying themselves to sleep and not. And I know it sounds silly that something that small could impact somebody's day, but you have no idea how many people were rude to that person at Starbucks before you got there. And your little 2-minute conversation and the genuine kindness in your voice and the light in your eyes and the respect that you gave that person can make a huge difference in this world. And if more people use the light that they have within to shine it on others who are low on their light sources, then this world would be such a beautiful place. And I really feel that this new moon cycle, group number 2, you're going to be one of those light worker way showers. And I'm not saying you have to like be a light worker your whole career or anything, but I really think you're going to do something this coming moon cycle, so it's about a month, that impacts people. And it's like you're stepping into your own power. And because of that, because you know your own self-worth and you're content with yourself, you can make others feel so good. So I'm really proud of you guys, and I think you guys are going to have a really big impact on this world. So let's pull some more cards. Lifting the veil, questioning everything, anything unaligned must go. Lifting the veil of darkness. When you question things and you take time to consider maybe why somebody was rude to you, or maybe what they're going through too, instead of just reacting in anger, then you lift the veil of darkness up and you shed light on it. And that act of compassion, even if you don't go and do something compassionate, but just the act of not reacting is shedding light on this world. And it's really creating a source of peace and alignment and surrender within yourself. A new earth. It's happening. Keep holding the vision. I knew it. I'm just getting vibes from this reading that you guys are very beautiful people who really are compassionate and caring about others. And that is creating a new earth. Those acts of kindness and that love for others and shedding the light on them, lifting that veil of darkness up and getting rid of whatever doesn't serve, questioning what's going on. There is so much going on in the world right now, and it's so easy to accept it at face value. But you have to really look at both sides of the argument. Sometimes there's multiple sides, and really see one person evil and the other good, or does both parties have validity in what they're saying, and they're just they're coming from their own perspective, their own lens of the world, and we don't need to demonize everyone because of how they believe. I'm not saying you have to accept what they believe, but definitely having that questioning everything and getting rid of what doesn't serve you and forming your own vision and your own aligning with what's true to you, and not necessarily having to take anybody's side. This goes for small family squabbles between two 2-year-olds fighting over a Hot Wheels car, all the way to big political things that go on in this world. And it's saying it's happening. Keep holding the vision. So hold that vision of light and love and compassion, and be a way shower of love and compassion, and the world will become a better place the more people who step up and do that, and you're going to be one of those people. They say you can't fight something to change it. You have to be pro the opposite of it. So like, you don't fight for peace, but you can be pro peace, and you can actively express peace and joy and compassion in your own life towards others. And each person who demonstrates that, just by virtue of them doing it, creates less conflict in the world. Think about it, it makes sense. And then messenger, bringing harmony and balance. And this is coming up under the King of Swords, but it's in reverse. So I'm feeling like, and the lifting the veils in reverse too. So it's like, maybe you're a little bit apprehensive about this. Maybe you're scared to put yourself in the situations. Maybe you're not fully embracing the fact that you are a light worker. Maybe you're not fully embracing the fact that you have any that your few acts of kindness will make a difference in the world. And with this new earth in upright, and the King of Swords in upright, and the Four of Wands in upright, and the celebration and the transformative butterflies, and keep holding the vision, I truly believe that you do have the power, and the actions you take do make an effect, a huge effect on the world. So believe in yourself, group number 2. You really do have this ability to shed light and bring more light into the world. And they say, don't dim your darkness to make others comfortable, because the whole world gets darker. And that can definitely be applied here. So these last cards, I use these moon cards, and I asked with the intention of what advice could you take regarding this reading to apply towards this time period in the new moon cycle to really help enhance your journey and the goals that you have. So we have prosperity lies ahead, new moon in Taurus. And this is coming up under the cards that are really indicating like that giving and helping others in need. With the laws of the universe, and what you give out comes back, like that karmic relationships. It's like this, you might not, that person you did something nice for might not directly pay you for it, or they might not be the person to pay it forward, but in some way that'll always come back to you. Good will always come to you when you're doing good for others. So there's definitely prosperity ahead for you this new moon, especially when you're considering others and being compassionate. You and your loved ones are safe, and this is under a new earth. It's happening. Keep holding your vision. Whichever vision that you're holding, group number 2, you can drop any of these fears that you're having about not being able to make it through, not being able to make the difference, or make as much of a difference as you want, whether that be, like I said, in your family, work life, relationship, because you and your loved ones are safe. And it's funny because it says new moon in Cancer, which is the new moon cycle that we just are coming out of was the Cancer cycle. So you and your loved ones are safe. You're protected, and you don't have to feel like you can't shine your light and be yourself and be the beautiful person that you are without punishment or some sort of blowback. And to be honest, when you do put yourself out there and when you do share your beliefs with others, there's always going to be people who disagree, especially people who are very angry and stubborn and very narrow-minded in nature. And the thing is, who cares? You don't have to be angry at that person. You don't have to think they're stupid or anything. They're totally entitled to their opinion. But don't feel like it's not safe for you to have an opinion. It's not safe for you to be who you are because of judgment of others. Because no matter if you're being genuine or if you're being fake, there's always going to be people who don't approve of you. There's just over 1 billion people in the world. There's going to be someone who doesn't approve. So just be yourself, shed your light, be who you are, and feel and know that you're safe and that what you're doing and who you are is making a positive impact on this planet. And the last one, the answers you need are coming. Full moon in Gemini. So coming towards the cycle of the lunar cycle, that full moon that's coming up, I feel like whatever you've been hoping for, whatever sort of resolve that you've been looking to find will come to you either intuitively or through some sort of messenger. And you'll definitely, and it's funny, full moon in Gemini, I'm a Gemini rising, so I don't know, maybe this is the message coming to you, but definitely keep your mind open and your heart open to hear different perspectives and see if anything resonates with you that really answers your questions that you have. And with this messenger actually came right up above this one. That's interesting. And the King of Swords, maybe there's someone else who's very put together, intelligent, calm. The way they carry themselves is with a lot of dignity, and it's not arrogant, it's not egotistical. They're very open-minded, and they're transforming the world too, and they can be a messenger to you as well. And who I'm thinking about when I see this King of Swords, honestly, is Earthling Ed on YouTube. If you wanted to check him out, obviously you don't have to. He is an activist for vegan rights, and I'm not trying to push veganism on anybody, but the way he'll be in the heat of a debate with someone who's being very angry and aggressive and keeps cutting him off, and he just is so calm and so genuine and considerate the whole entire time while he makes his points. And it just really makes me feel like that people can spread their light and they can still have their opinion and they can still be pro whatever it is that they're pro without cutting other people down and being rude and aggressive and creating that tension and that division in the world, because we need more unity. We're in this together. So I really hope this helped for you, group number 2. If this resonated with you, please let me know in the comments below. And if you are working on some sort of passion project that deals with helping others, or there's someone in your family that you're able to help during this cycle and you want to share, definitely let us know. Like this video if you liked it, share with anyone you think would gain value from this, and have a wonderful, awesome day, guys. Bye. Hi, group number 3. Welcome to your reading for the new moon cycle starting July 19th. We're going to start off with some tarot cards. So let's see what we have here. The High Priestess in reverse. 8 of Wands upright. The Hierophant. upright, and the world, upright. All right, group number 3. First off, what I'm getting from these cards here is that there's a period of great transformation coming up for you in this new moon cycle. And with this world here, the world card at the end of the cycle too, the world really deals with completion. Some sort of loose end that's getting tied up at the end of this coming new moon cycle. So about a month's time, there's going to be a lot of growth, a lot of action taken, but it will result in some sort of completion in your life, whether that be something personal, spiritual, or work related. Definitely will find out, and you will know better than I on that one. The High Priestess deals a lot with, especially with this moon at her feet, like intuition, emotions, secrets, and an access to knowledge that you have to tap into. With it being reversed, it's like at the beginning of the cycle, you might be looking for the answers. Like she has her laptops, like she's researching. She's looking for the answers. She has access to all the answers, but with it being in reverse, it's like maybe you don't quite have all of the answers just yet. And you really are diligently looking for them. And with the 8 of Wands, the Wands are a suit of fire and creativity and action. And as you can see, like she's ripping down the road at high speed. Like this girl is taking action. So I really feel in this cycle, you have some really big aspirations, whether spiritually or sorry, I can't think of the word, physically, as in the material world of goals and like body image, work, money, that kind of thing. You're really working and grinding in this period to make these changes. You really are looking for the answers that you seek. And with the Hierophant, she has the keys at her feet. Like she has vast potential to unlock your intuition and guide you. She's a teacher. She has students at her feet begging for the wisdom that she has and for the keys to unlock the gates of knowledge into their own intuition and their psyche and move forward towards their goals in a level-headed way. And with all of these cards together, I really sense a huge transformation for you guys coming up this cycle. And I want you to know that whether you have the answers right now or not, they will come to you. Be a diligent student, research, take the action. Don't be scared to take the action that you need to get the answers that you want. Look for a teacher. Find somebody who knows about what it is that you're striving for, whether it be spiritually or materially, and learn from them. Definitely use your own intuition and your discernment to weed out what works for you and what doesn't. But it can always be helpful to get different perspectives on what it is that you're looking to accomplish instead of taking it all on your own, because as this card's indicating, we don't have all the answers yet. But yes, like I said before, with the World card coming up here, it's like celebration and completion, and it's like the end of a cycle. It's something in your life is ending and you're going to be moving on to new things after that. So let's pull some more cards and see what they have to say. Fall into my arms, surrender, holding the opposites extremes of life. And interestingly, this is coming up in reverse underneath this High Priestess. We don't know all the answers yet. I don't know why I'm saying we. You don't know all the answers yet, and you want to take action. You definitely want to come to this completion, and you will, but you have to have that ability to surrender and know that you don't know all of the answers, that you don't know how the path is going to unfold, which means that when I see surrender, it's like letting go of the expectations you have of how everything's going to unfold. Because when you hold on too tightly to that idea of how it has to be, you might have an opportunity over here that you're missing out on because you're holding so tightly onto this how it has to be. And I've definitely been somebody who had to deal with this, like learn this lesson the hard way many, many times. So I'm definitely not judging you here. I know from experience that it can be hard to let go. Our brain tells us one thing, oh no, it has to be this way because A, B, C, D, E, and you have it all mapped out. You're a very intelligent person, and I'm sure everything seems logical of how you want to proceed, but there's definitely more information that's going to come to light for you during this cycle. And I believe a lot of research and trusting some knowledgeable people that have been in your shoes, that have succeeded in whatever goal it is that you're trying to succeed in, and they can give you some wonderful, wonderful ideas and tips on how to further this along. So definitely be open to that. And then breath of the cosmos, my will to thy will, micromanaging the universe. Micromanaging, what did I just say? And it's in reverse. Definitely not wanting to micromanage here. It can be tempting to want to control all the fine details, all the aspects of how something is going to pan out, because when we have control, or just want you to know, no one ever has control, so that's an illusion. But when we think we have control, it can be soothing. You can feel like you're in your power because you have control. But like I said, that can really take you out of really seeing things clearly at a full, broad spectrum of all the things going on. And sometimes there'll be an easier way that you hadn't even thought of that brings you way more prosperity and joy and abundance than you had even mapped out. But you have to be open to that, and you have to let go, and you have to understand that micromanaging every single detail isn't going to get you to this completion here. And then the great severing, anger and conflict, softening to love, and this is in reverse. Interesting. These are all, is that an air sign? They're all air. And then air has to do with like creativity and action. And they're all in reverse. So it's like, yes, take action, move forward, but don't micromanage every detail. Be open to new ideas, to new perspectives. And with this conflict, softening to love, really being loving towards yourself for not knowing all the answers, being loving to other people who you think might be maybe annoying or out of place, giving advice. Don't brush them off. I'm not saying you have to actually do what they say, but definitely consider it. Consider what they're saying and why, and see how it might, and just play around with it. If I did this, would it impact me in a positive way? Maybe they're onto something here. Sometimes the new person at work that's only been there for a month gets all the flack and they have absolutely no say, but sometimes they have really wonderful ideas. And if they're being micromanaged and they're not allowed to express their own creativity and bring their ideas to the table too, sometimes we can become stagnant and growth isn't happening because we're not allowing for new ideas to filter in. Now, these last cards, group number 3, I picked with the intention of advice to get you through this cycle and make it the easiest path, the most direct path that's the most fulfilling for you. So let's see what they have to say here. A new start is coming, new moon. Interesting, since this is the new moon reading. And this is coming up under surrender and not having all the answers. So it's like, yes, you don't have all the answers now, but if you can surrender, you will see that there is a beautiful new start for you. And this is coming up after the end. Every ending initiates a new beginning. So you don't come out of an old job without starting something new, even if that's, you know, being at home with your grandkids every day and having time to enjoy life. It might not be a new job, as society would call it, but it's a new cycle in your life. And it's definitely coming for you. You're gonna complete something really beautiful, group number 3. And I really hope that having that open mind and surrendering to whatever the universe has in store for you. Maybe you didn't plan on this ending. Maybe it's gonna come as a shock to you. Don't be angry about it. Try and see the positive. Try and see how this could impact you in a positive way. What new beautiful blessings will come of it? And a marriage ending. I'm not saying that's what's gonna happen, but just as an example, no one's gonna be like, yay, my marriage ended, I'm so excited. It's gonna be hard and there could be conflict, and you're gonna wanna micromanage things, and you're gonna be so up in arms about how to deal with it and how this is gonna make your impact your life going forward. But that doesn't mean there isn't like some really beautiful things that will come of it. And who knows, maybe your life's gonna be pushed on this trajectory of amazing changes that will benefit you in the end. We can't know that if we hold on tight to what we don't have anymore. We have to let go, release, and make room for the new. You wouldn't buy a new set of couches and keep the old ones in the living room. That would be too cluttered. It wouldn't make sense. You have to let go. You have to release. You have to surrender what is old and make room for the new. So let's see what other card we have here. And I'll just say you guys got one more card than everyone else in the advice pile, so it just flew out. Luck is on your side. New moon again. And in Sagittarius, so there's this arrow. It's like your mark will aim true. Whatever you're shooting for, especially coming up after this new start, it will work out for you during this new moon cycle. There's something that you're shooting for, and it's gonna aim true, and it's gonna reach there. You're gonna get there, don't worry. A win-win outcome is forecast. Full moon in Libra, and that's got the balancing scales. So yes, you are gonna reach this goal. There is gonna be some sort of cycle that's ending for you with a new cycle beginning, and that's a win-win situation for you. So it's gonna restore the balance in your life. Whatever was out of balance before is gonna start coming into balance when this new cycle begins for you. And expect powerful change. What did I say at the beginning? This is a huge cycle of transformation for you, group number 3. And new moon eclipse. Huge transformation. Eclipses, it like harnesses the energy of the new moon and amplifies it tenfold. So new moon and eclipse, new moon Sagittarius, new moon, a new start is coming. Like a lot of new things are gonna come for you when this cycle ends, and it's gonna be really beautiful, amazing things that transform your life in ways that you can't even imagine. So I really hope this reading was helpful for you, group number 3. Please let me know below in the comments if you want to, what this new cycle for you is, or what cycle just ended. Please like this video if you liked it. Please share with anybody you think would gain value from this. If you want to be updated with future card readings or yoga videos, I do yoga, spirituality, and card reading videos. Please subscribe below and ring the bell notification button to be updated. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed this reading. Have a wonderful day. Bye, guys. And disclaimer, I forgot to add this in, so forgive me, but not to toot my own horn, but my makeup's pretty fab today. If you really like makeup tutorials and you want to see how this look was done, please check out my sister's YouTube channel. It's called The Skin Empress. I will put the link in the description box down below for you. Check her out if you'd like. Have a wonderful day.